I put a sundress on because I feel like that's what Susanna would have wanted.
So I was like, since this whole show basically only exists because Belly hit puberty and grew boobs, I was like, let me wear my like lacy, girly, booby top that I never wear otherwise, so that I can channel my inner Belly. And I don't want to channel my inner Belly. I don't have Belly in me.
She's a mess. She's a
I'm
mess.
sorry.
It's fine. But also I feel like we're kind of representing Belly at the beginning of the show and then Belly at the end of the
Yeah.
show with her fuck ass bob. Hi, I'm Lydia.
And I'm Sonika.
And welcome to Pop Rocks and Tea, a podcast about all things pop culture.
And all the tea that comes with it. Today, I didn't want to do it. You guys made me do it.
We did. I'm sorry for bullying you. But we are here today to talk about the show that's had the girls, the gays, and all of their boyfriends in a chokehold for the past 3 months. And that show is The Summer I Turned Pretty.
When I'm with Jer, everything is easier. But everywhere I go, there's a memory of Conrad.
What in the Millie Bobby Brown is going on in this show?
Oh my god.
What the hell?
What the hell?
What the helly?
What the helly? What the helliante? What the helly Cyrus is this?
Okay, so for those who have not heard of this show, I don't know. I'm concerned about you. You're not participating in society clearly. Like, hey, you need help. But essentially, it's an Amazon Prime show that's based on a book trilogy written by Jenny Han, and the story follows Belly. Yes, that is her name. Her real name is Isabel, but for whatever reason, Issa, Bella wasn't good enough. They had to go with Belly.
Izzy, even,
Izzy,
like,
yeah.
none of those were an option.
No. Had to go with Belly. And she is this girl who vacations every summer with her family at her mom's best friend's beach house. And one summer, she has a glow up, which is basically she grows boobs, which is literally thing that's discussed in like one of the first episodes of this show.
You look hot. Hey, stop flirting with my sister.
Which, hey, sure. She's a child, sure, whatever. But she has this glow up, and suddenly she finds herself caught in a love triangle with Conrad and Jeremiah, who are two brothers that she spends the summer with every year since she was a kid.
At Cousins Beach, mind you. And like their families are so intertwined. At Cousins Beach. Interesting. Anyway, so the third and final season of the show just wrapped up. And while the first 2 seasons like were pretty popular, this last season made the show explode and it has just been everywhere. And this season really has everything. It had a runaway wedding, multiple cheating scandals, declarations of love, a trip to Paris, so many Taylor Swift needle drops, and possibly the worst decision making by fictional characters I have personally ever seen. It's truly astounding how dumb these
It's
people
like
are.
beyond absurd. I'm like, every single character, from the parents to the friends to the trio, like, what on earth is going on?
So essentially, the show got so popular because people have just been absolutely hate watching it and just like marveling at their poor decision making.
But I have to say that, like, there is also a very significant chunk of people that are not hate watching this. There have been some very legit think pieces that have been written about this. People say it's very like nostalgic to adolescent growing up feelings and that kind of confusion. Myself personally, apparently I did not have a summer where I turned pretty because I did not have two attractive boys suddenly be like, "Hey, you? We want you."
Right.
Can't relate.
Right. Can't relate either. Can't relate. Also, to go along with the nostalgia factor of it, I think these books came out in the late 2000s, early 2010s. I read the books. I read them back in high school though, so my memory of them is a little foggy. I don't remember all the details, but I do know the story. And there is the like people who are watching it for that nostalgia factor of the books and of like the teen girl experience. So I like kind of get that. But like the rest of these people who just came into the show and are watching it for genuine romance, I'm like, y'all are you okay? Are you okay?
They're not okay, Lydia. This is what's happened. This is what's happened to our generation. Romance is dead. And now we have to resort to shows like The Summer I Turned Pretty to get our fix.
Oh man.
Here we are. Here we are.
Here we are.
Anyway, the show is wrapped up now. We watched it as soon as the last episode dropped. Yay!
Yep.
So this entire episode is just going to be a spoiler talk episode. We're going to be analyzing the characters one by one, talking about, plot events. So if you are not caught up, or if you have no interest in watching the show but you still want to know what is going on, continue to listen. But yeah, we need to see whether any of these characters grew, if they changed at all over the course of this show. Did they make changes from the source material? And obviously, most importantly, are we team Conrad or team Jeremiah?
I'm personally team everybody should get therapy.
100%. 100%. That's default. That's by default. I don't like any of them.
Don't like any of them. Some people are also like team Belly, and I'm like, no, like none of these people.
Worst of them all. What?
Yeah.
If I
So
had to choose, I'm team Conrad, which
okay.
I thought would be the popular opinion, but apparently it's not.
Really? I feel like over in the States at least, it is the popular opinion.
Okay, I feel like I hear a lot of Jeremiah discourse, and I'm like, first of all love, hey, nothing against you. I can't take you seriously, man. You look
Wait,
like
save those thoughts. Save those thoughts. We're gonna get into all of that. We're going through each character one by one,
yes,
and we're gonna
yes,
discuss how each character ends
yeah,
up.
yeah.
I will also say my disclaimer. I was team Jeremiah. I'm a former team Jeremiah. Even when I read the books, I was still team Jeremiah, and knowing how it ends, I was very much a stan. And then over time, I'm just like, wow. Yeah, no, none of these people. No. But
Yeah.
that way we have a team Comrade and we have a team Jeremiah. We can kind of both explain our points of view
Mm-hmm.
and get into
Mm-hmm.
the discussion. I think we should start with Taylor and Steven because
Mm-hmm.
I mean, kind of talking about them, it's hard to talk about one without talking about the other because they
Yeah.
do end up being a couple.
Everyone in this show is codependent.
Yeah. These two. Okay. So we got Taylor and Steven. Taylor is Belly's best friend from growing up, and Steven is her older brother. My philosophy is I really enjoyed their individual growth as
Yeah.
people, but not them together.
Yeah. I did also really think that they were the most I enjoyed watching them on screen the most. I remember like the first season, I thought Taylor was a very bitchy, kind of shitty friend. Like I just got like not trustworthy vibes from her. And by the end of it, she's totally ride or die. She's really grown matured. She has given herself the opportunity to have life experiences when she's in college. She's gone out, she's joined a sorority, she's made other friends, she had a different boyfriend. She refers to a hoe phase that she had. So she's experienced other people and has then chosen to go back to Steven. And I think Steven kind of did the same thing. Again, we don't see as much about his life, I think, but he goes, he's working, he meets new people, he has like goals and ambitions out that are tangible. And then yeah, and then again they both come back together, and I was like, okay, this is like actually kind of normal.
Yeah, I am in 100% agreement. I think when we meet Taylor in the beginning of the series, she kind of seems like kind of bitchy, but like, I don't know, just kind of like that popular girlfriend that you have, and she kind of like pushes you out of your comfort zone.
I thought you came here to help me pack.
Fine, I'll help. Here's a tip. Don't bring that Speedo. It doesn't do a thing for your new boobs.
And then season 2 is when, we start to see some of that growth from her, of her like being there for her friend, and then also her relationship with Steven. And then in the final season, like she grows up a lot, like with helping her mom and actually doing things for her career. She has this internship in New York that unfortunately she has to give up, but she at least like is working hard towards something. Steven is also doing the same. I think Steven started out as like just the annoying older brother. Like he just picked on her the whole time, didn't really have much to do.
Shut up, Steven.
You shut up. You look good, though.
And to see him go from that to the supportive older brother who is like actually standing up for his sister and looking out for her feelings.
You really think she was gonna change her mind? I don't know, maybe. You're insane.
All right, Steven, I really don't want to hear about this from you.
Oh, no, you're gonna hear it. You're gonna hear it because Belly is my little sister and Jared's my best friend.
Also developing his own life, his own goals, and achieving what he wants to achieve. Like, fucking hats off to them. Hats off to them. There's been growth. There's growth there. However, these two were my favorite couple up until the final season. Like when they first had their like enemies to lovers arc in season 2, it was very cute. It felt very genuine. It felt like this makes sense why these two are together.
I've always had the power, like in relationships, because I care less than the other person. But with you, I care too much, and it's really scary. And you're going to college soon, and I don't want to be hurt by you.
Taylor, that's not gonna happen.
And then season 3, they start out they're broken up already. There's a time jump, right? There's a 4-year time jump. So they're already broken up, but they're still hooking up with each other, and they both have significant others, and they're cheating on each other's significant others with each other. Like, how did nobody think to be like, maybe I should break up with this other person so I can be with this person that for some reason, like, I cannot get away from? Like, how does that not compute? How does that not compute?
What I find really sad about the treatment of all of the secondary characters in this show is that so often like they're done dirty simply because they're just acting as like a foil or like a stand-in to just bounce off of whatever's happening with the main trio. And I feel like the whole reason they had that like cheating element with Taylor and Steven is so that it would act as some kind of not mirror but like whatever comparable thing with Jeremiah cheating and like Belly cheating. I don't know if you call it cheating, hanging out with, I don't.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Yeah, you know, we'll get to that. But you know, it's like there was no need for this to happen. But now after all of that other stuff came out about the cheating, there were so many moments where it was like, oh well, you two can't talk. Oh well, what are you two doing?
Meanwhile, these fuckers are out here passing judgment on us? On us? We're high functioning compared to them. Are you kidding me? At least we're like communicating.
I don't think anyone here is in a place to be moral police. They should have just had their own like
Thank you.
storyline and like just had different problems than this.
Right. Okay, so this is how I thought season 3 was going to go with them. So they've broken up, they're cheating on each other with each other, and then they get into the fight. Steven gets in the car accident. They realize, he has the realization that, you know what, Taylor's no good for me. I need to move on.
Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about what you said since I woke up. Before the crash.
Me too.
And you were right. You and me, we don't work.
And then there's that whole miscommunication, right? She still has feelings for him. He's trying to move the fuck on. And he tells her, I'm trying to move on. Then Denise comes into the picture, his coworker, and they seem to get along very well. And we're like, oh, okay, we're moving on. We're getting away from the people that were stifling our growth here. And then the fucking writers decided to put in this fucking cop-out of them kissing, and then it's like, no feelings here. I guess we're gonna be friends, and just goes right back to Taylor. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? That could have been so interesting. Like, here's this couple that has just been on again and off again and on again and off again. And this was their chance to move on and grow and be different people. Taylor could have learned, maybe if I love someone enough, I can let him go, right? And Steven could be like, oh, well, this person was not good for me. I'm going to try something else. I loved that until it was fucking... The writers of this show drive me nuts. I'm like, we were so close. We were so close to character growth. We were so fucking close. And like, even at the very last episode, these two get into the dumbest fucking fight because they might have to move to San Francisco, and Steven doesn't tell Taylor that he might have to move to San Francisco. And then she just like baits him all day and tries to act like all of the problems with this couple are down to communication. These two do not talk to each other. They do not care enough to communicate with each other.
Because they're just hooking up.
All of their problems could be solved so easily. And they do get solved in like 2 seconds if they just fucking talk to each other.
Taylor, the last thing I remember before almost fucking dying was you running out of the car when I was trying to tell you how I feel.
No, I'm still that same person.
Yes, I like that person, though. The person who shows up for the people she cares about. The person who isn't afraid to say the hard thing even when her best friend is being a total monster. But the thing is you are that person for your friends. Why can you not be that person for me?
And that is why I have gone from a Steven and Taylor stan to a Steven and Taylor hater. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
The only like excuse in their defense is that they're 21, 22. Oh, but I guess Steven's a little older.
I mean, that too. That too. They are still children.
This whole, just all of it, like the way the storylines in this show go, considering the age of the characters, I'm like, what is this? I don't hate Taylor and Steven as much as you do. I was okay with them. That may be because everyone else was so dysfunctional. I was disappointed with the Denise thing. I think that Steven should have been with her. It made sense. It was a nice, clean way for them to both make amends and part ways. I genuinely think they just wanted more scenes of them making out. Like, honestly, I think they just wanted to make the show quote unquote sexy. And I'm like, your cast is children. But okay.
Yeah. So that's Taylor and Steven. That's how I feel. But I feel like this might be a good way to transition into some of the characters that the show throws in and then just like forgets to do shit with them. I think Denise is absolutely one of those people. They just shoehorned her in as a last minute love interest for Jeremiah. And it just was so fucking lazy. Like, not everybody has to end up with somebody.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Denise and Steven were such a much better match because they had that banter, they had that chat, they like wanted to do the same things with their career.
Why the hell am I messing around with these tech bros and their shitty ass ideas when I have my very own tech bro with a pretty fucking great idea right in front of me? I can't get your stupid ass game out of my head, Steven.
You're saying you want to start your own company with me? I'm sorry, you can't be serious right now.
She's an actually intelligent human being. And for her to just kind of cave and be like, oh, well, I know all the shit that Jeremiah has put Belly through. Let me go be with
Yeah.
him anyway. Like, what?
Also, just the mere fact that she let him stay in her spare bedroom for 6 months, there ain't no way. That literally goes against her entire character.
Yeah.
It made no sense.
Like, you let this broke ass bitch sleep on your couch for 6 months.
No.
Just because he
No.
said, please, come on. Denise, you eat finance bros for breakfast? Fucking prove it.
Exactly. Same with Agnes. Agnes was literally, is that her name?
I think that is
Yeah.
her name. But again, I can't remember these things because they forget to develop the fucking characters.
She was just there because we needed to know what Conrad was thinking. And she was literally just like his sounding board.
Have you ever been in love?
Have you?
I asked you first.
Okay. Then yes.
How many times?
Once.
Yeah, pretty much.
Otherwise, he could have just been in California and we wouldn't have known.
Yeah. Like, okay, that's cool that he has a cool, girl friend.
Yeah,
But
sure.
she only really existed to, convey his thoughts while he was in California. Which is sad because she's interesting.
Yeah. It was like, I started actually getting annoyed with her after a point because I was like, she just comes in here and like prods Conrad with questions and then leaves.
Literally. Other people that I think are worth mentioning, Cam Cameron.
Oh, yeah.
What? How have we not met until now? I totally would have remembered you. Your poem. It's a very memorable poem.
Damn.
R.I.P. Cam Cameron. Truly. I thought he was adorable. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, if I were to pick a team, I'd pick Team Cam Cameron.
Yeah,
Like, he
for
was
real.
just upfront with his feelings, told her how he felt, asked her on a date, like, was her first kiss, like, just absolute wholesome vibes with Cam Cameron. And it is truly unfair.
Yeah.
Also Cam Cameron 2.0, Benito, the Spanish dude? Mexican dude? Mexican dude. I think he's Mexican.
Mexican dude.
Yo la quise a ella y ella también me quiso.
I'm impressed. Do you know the rest?
Nope. Usually a few verses are enough to impress American girls.
Yeah. R.I.P. for real. He seemed like a very sweet guy.
Yeah, and he was cute.
He was cute. Again, was very forthcoming about his feelings for Belly, was taking her out on dates, was being very gentlemanly, was like, come to Mexico to meet my grandmother. Like, this dude was putting in the work. And she still was like, no, I think you're just better as a hookup. Like, why? And then, like, I don't blame him for being bitter at the fucking birthday party. I don't know why he was at the birthday party.
And he got her such a nice gift, the picture of her.
Yeah. Oh my God. I would have been livid if I had broken up with somebody and still go to their birthday party and give them a gift in front of their ex. Bold.
Yeah.
And then we get the character that I hate the fucking most. Fucking Redbird. Jeremiah's frat brother, who he acts so straight, but apparently he's gay.
He's gay.
And I'm like, I don't understand.
He's gay?
He's gay. He is gay. He says it in the beginning of season 3. He's gay.
That is the straightest gay man I've ever seen.
Literally. Like, I don't think
that's actually upsetting to the gays.
Like, you can be a gay frat brother. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, we went to okay.
But but like, This guy is just the most like hetero gay dude. Like I've just never like he's like, yeah, let's shotgun some beers. Oh, let's party. Let's break shit in the house. Like let's
He's like a stereotype. Like he's literally like exactly what you would think like a frat bro is. He plays that stereotype. Said frat bro is generally
yeah.
straight.
Also, I could argue that Redbird is the catalyst for so much shit in this show.
I can't believe he's gay because I was like, oh, 100% Redbird is the one who was egging Jeremiah on to hook up with Lacey
Barone.
Lacey Barone, yeah.
Who the fuck is Lacey Barone?
Yeah, he seems to be the one that encouraged Jeremiah cheating and then talks about it nonstop in front of everyone. He's the reason why Conrad finds out that Jeremiah cheated because he overhears him talking about it.
Jared, you didn't tell your boys about you and the iconic Lacey Barone? You locked us out of the room. I remember now. You locked us out when we were banging on the door and they couldn't hear us. They were so into it. All I heard was, Jeremiah!
Even at the wedding, like,
I
was just like, what the fuck is this dude doing here? Like, why?
Even until the last episode, he was pouring wine and was like, I don't know what this is, something French. Like, come on, dude. Like,
do you have a job? Like, get out of here, Redbird.
Whoa.
Please leave.
Lydia, no one here has a job besides Stephen and Taylor. Nobody else.
Well, and Denise, because they're going into business together, but by default.
Yeah.
So moving away from some of the minor kid characters, let's talk about the adults, because the adults also play a big role in this show.
I have something to say.
I think we're thinking the same thing. Say what you have to say.
Susanna is the villain of this show.
Conrad, could you be a little more supportive? Now, which one of you is going to be Belly's escort to the ball?
She is insane.
Yeah.
She has like groomed these children into thinking these crazy thoughts. The fucking chokehold she has on every single character, it's so unhealthy. The chokehold she has on Laurel, I'm like, girl, I'm sorry. If I just gave birth and like my best friend was there and she said, look at our beautiful girl.
There are theories that they could have had a little romance themselves.
Oh, 100%.
Like
100%.
Right? Like, and Laurel constantly regards Susanna as her soulmate. And even their husbands acknowledge that. Like, that's fucking crazy.
You can I think soulmate, sure,
sorry.
fine. But the behavior, it's like an obsession. Everyone is obsessed with her. Everything is, what would Susanna think? I wish Susanna was here. Oh, Susanna would want this. Susanna would want that. You like
newsflash. You don't know what she would want.
Yeah.
She's dead.
And also, you can't like live your life because of what she wanted for you. Like, just because she said, oh, Belly, I've always wanted you to end up with one of my boys, does not mean you have to.
Susanna told me she knew I was destined for one of her boys. I always hoped it would be Conrad, but then there was Jeremiah.
Right. Which, put a pin in that. Put a pin in that. I want to come back to that statement when we talk about Belly. But Susanna, just like, lovely lady, you know, good mom, whatever. But like, Belly thinks of Susanna like as her own mom. And I think at one point she even snaps at her mother and is like, I wish you were more like Susanna, or like Susanna wouldn't, you know, do this. Like, why can't you be more like her?
We are not doing this here. Let's go.
I'm not going anywhere. No. The only mistake I made was thinking that you could help. Susanna would never forgive you for abandoning her boys.
To be fair, I don't think Laurel is a necessarily good mom. She's extremely absent-minded. And the reason for that is because she's always fucking thinking about Susanna more than her actual kids.
Oh, yeah. Like, her kids in season 2 go missing for, like,
Oh my God.
however long, a week, and she's oblivious. She's like, "Oh, I'm calling them. They're not answering the phone. They're probably fine." They're all in fucking at the fucking beach house partying. No, there's no adulting with Laurel. Like, there's no parenting. And then they turn it around in season 3 and be like, I got married young, I had kids young, I was an idiot, I was, stupid. And it's like, at the end of the day, your choices are your choices. It's how you learn from those choices.
And I mean, they're not much younger than we were when we got married.
Yeah, and how did that work out?
Also, like, you don't get to decide to be a super concerned parent now when you've let her be chaotic this entire time.
She has no backbone. And then they start this thing where it's like, oh, is she going to get back with their father? Is she not? And she's like, oh, I'm so jaded. Like, I don't know if I can ever like go back to doing this. And then they don't get back together anyway. Even though they were fucking while their son got in a car accident.
Yeah, that part was insane. What do you mean? What do you mean you're a parent and you just ignore calls all night, nonstop calls? You don't check your phone?
It's your son calling and your daughter calling because your son was in a car accident and you're too busy fucking your ex to notice. I'm
That was
sorry.
crazy. That was
What kind of
insane.
parenting is this?
Yeah. And she's like, oh, I would never forgive myself. I'm like,
I'm sorry.
Feels like you don't give a shit.
Laurel is a better mother to Conrad than she is
Yeah.
to Stephen or Belly.
Yeah.
And I will die on that hill.
And that's probably because he came out of Susanna.
You'll get through it, I promise, and I'm here for you. God, I missed your mom.
It's ridiculous. It's
ridiculous.
And that's what we mean by like this entire everyone is so codependent in this show. It's like Laurel does not exist without Susanna. Yeah, just conditioned these kids into thinking a certain way, and it's fucked up.
Oh yeah.
And also, like, to continue that, like the fact that Conrad's like wedding letter or whatever that was accidentally given to Jeremiah said, "Oh, I've only seen you be in love once." Imagine if this is like they were getting married at a normal age, like 10 years down the line, to someone completely different.
Just someone else.
Yeah, just someone else. Do you think that they want to be thinking about Belly?
Embarrassing.
Imagine if I got a letter like that and it was like, I remember when you were truly in love the first time. I'd be like, I'd like to forget.
Right.
Why?
I don't want to think about the crush I had when I was 16 years old or 17, however old he was at the time, when I'm getting married. What? She's nuts. And she's nuts for switching the letters. Why? Because clearly the envelope was intended for Jeremiah.
I don't want you at my wedding. I want you gone.
Jared.
You're never seeing her again. Or me. You and I are done. This is for you.
And then to open up and see Conrad's name on it, you're fucking insane.
It was horrible.
I'm sorry.
That's
fucked.
All of this could have been avoided if Susanna was not the way that she is.
The only parent. Actually, no, I can't even say that. I can't even say that Adam's the only parent that makes sense, because while Adam has had some appropriate reactions to his son having a shotgun wedding and then calling it off, and also his wife's beach house getting sold, and his kids are trying to drain their trust funds to save a house. I'm sorry. Like, they were crazy for that. They were crazy for that in season 2. So I'm on board with Adam on that. What I am not on board with is him cheating on his wife while she was in chemo and then inviting the mistress to his son's wedding. I'm sorry. That's batshit crazy.
I couldn't form a solid opinion on him because I really didn't like. I understood why you're not meant to like him, but I think if Jeremiah was Mike, I would treat him the same way.
I also think that Adam had arguably the best reaction to Conrad telling him about how he loves Belly and how he low-key, actually no, not low-key, high-key broke up
Yeah.
the wedding.
I told her I loved her.
Who?
Belly.
Why the hell would you do that?
Great acting.
Well
Great
done.
acting from him. That was great. That was so well done. His reactions were me. Like, if I was hearing
Yeah.
about this story for the first time and I had no context, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah. Same.
Okay. I think it's time we move on to the trio, starting with Jeremiah.
You're my best friend. There are times I wanted to be more.
As somebody who was formerly Team Jeremiah, I will explain my perspective. So, in the first 2 seasons, there was a real sense that he deeply cared for Belly, and he made the choice to pursue her. He made his feelings known.
Why don't you want to kiss me?
Because if I kiss you, I don't know that I can ever stop.
And all of this while Conrad was just moping around, genuinely toying with her feelings, being just an absolute piece of shit. All the girlies are like, Team Conrad now. Like, everybody's Team Conrad now because Jeremiah is acting shitty now. But if you go back to seasons 1 and 2, like, I'm not fucking convinced about Team Conrad.
You cared where I was, who I was with.
No, I didn't. I don't care.
Stop lying.
Stop being such a baby.
Oh, and you're such an adult. You spent your Saturday night crashing my first date for fun.
He just is so, again, selfish, only caring about his own feelings and is not vocalizing them. It's just internalizing everything and just pissing everybody off. So Jeremiah just seems like the best alternative. Like, here's this guy, he's bright, he's bubbly, he's attractive, he's showing interest and showing that he cares, and he was Belly's best friend. You know, this seems like a good option. And then after that, right, like, she and Conrad date, they break up. Naturally, Jeremiah swoops back in again, is like, hey, maybe we could give it an honest shot. And then they end up dating for 4 years. It's like, okay, there's some good here. There's some positive attributes, right? And then, of course, season 3 is when everything takes a turn. Not only does he cheat on her with Lacey Barone,
Who the fuck is Lacey Barone?
he also cons her into this sham wedding, becomes a super senior, fails his classes, is also in credit card debt, but also wants to ball out on a 2-tier chocolate cake with a mirror glaze and a raspberry Kool-Aid filling.
Belly, cacao is the bean. It's what chocolate is made of. Look, the whole flavor profile depends on the bitterness of the dark chocolate and the sweet tartness of the raspberry.
Doesn't help plan the wedding at all. Guilt trips her into giving up her study abroad to Paris so they can spend the semester together, only for him to take a job in Boston anyway. And then we find out that the whole reason why he cheated was because he found out Conrad and Belly spent Christmas together.
So I think finally I'm enough. That you're ready to forget him, but there's a piece of you. There's a piece of you that will always love him. And I think it's bigger than you know. You can't marry me to erase him.
Fucking evil. That's evil behavior.
Yeah.
And for him to just descend into madness the way that he does, because in the book, he does cheat on her. But he, you know, the credit card debt's not a thing, the cake, the like whole like study abroad thing. I just think in the show, like, they add so many things to make him more unlikable and make Conrad seem like the more viable option. When I don't think they needed to do that. Like, the whole point of a love triangle is to give like 2 actual probable scenarios and keep you holding on to the last second to see who she chooses, right? I think book Jeremiah, despite the fact that he cheated, is still better than show Jeremiah because they added so much to make him unlikable when they could have made the situation a bit more complex and have it been more like, instead of being a man child, like he could have just genuinely made a mistake and tried his best to like make it up to her, like, I don't know. I think he's still a shitty person, but they didn't have to do him so dirty.
Yeah. I see what you mean about him being the better choice for the first 2 seasons. And sure, I agree with that. My qualm is that I think he's really stupid, and I can't get over that.
Yeah, he's not
That's
bright.
me projecting my personal choices for romantic relationships, or actually any relationship. We got to be at the same level at least, buddy, so I was just continuously like, I don't understand the appeal. And I understood it fine when they were younger, season 1, season 2, Deb Ball, blah, blah, like it all felt still very low stakes, but it was so obvious that Belly just liked Conrad and Jeremiah was a shoo-in the entire time. And then once they had been together for 4 years and, were together in college, I was like, okay, sure, like this is actually working, which that in itself was surprising to me, but obviously the show must go on apparently. So they made that work. I really was just done with him when he used marriage as like a grand gesture to like prove his love for her after he cheated.
The future is just crazy.
Oh, what? Say it.
Would you?
Yes.
You don't even know what I'm about to say.
Try me.
Isabel Conklin, will you marry me?
Because Belly and Jeremiah are both people that have literally never had anyone say no to them, never not gotten their way, never had to think about other people. That is the only reason why that they
Yes.
are living in this world of delusion, even outside of the context of Belly, even like with the way that like he'd speak to his dad or the way he'd speak to Conrad.
She didn't choose me, but she didn't pick you either. So why don't you get the fuck out, go back to California, and never come back?
I was like, you act this way because everyone has told you that you're good looking and fun and you think you can do whatever. Like, you need to like get smacked in the face by reality, and I just could not take him seriously. The fucking hair and the eyes and the pouty lips and I'm like, pick one.
Yeah. When he did get slapped in the face, when Belly slaps him in, I think it's the first episode of season 3, I clapped.
I want to know exactly what did you do? I want to know what you did.
We had sex.
Fuck you.
He needed to get fucking checked. And I clapped again when he got cut off by his dad. Because again, needed to get checked. But yet somehow, like, shit ends up fine for him. Like, he just becomes a professional chef in 6 months, which makes no fucking sense to me. The way they shoehorn that in at the end, he should have suffered more. He should have suffered way more.
And I'm like, oh, you're crying because your brother is the favorite? Yeah, your brother's in med school.
Go ahead. Tell me how much of a fuck up I am. Tell me how you're just burning money from my dead-end future.
Aren't I?
Not everything is about money, Dad.
You're right. It's not. So let's take it out of the equation.
What?
Cutting you off.
Yeah, you should be jealous of him, actually. And that is why I'm Team Conrad.
Right.
Because, again, the villain, Susanna, put so much on this kid. So much expectation, so much pressure. Basically told him not to, live his life and go after who he loves or, his dreams or whatever.
You always looked out for him. And you always will. Will you, Connie?
Of course.
Thank you.
Of course, I promise.
No, dude. Like, looking out for your brother at least in my interpretation, would not to be to fucking suffer and give up on all of your like, you know, dreams of being with this girl just so that he could do it and be like it just I don't know. The logic wasn't all the way there when Conrad was like, "Oh, I'm going to go fucking move to California now and get away from all of these people so I don't have to interact with Belly anymore because I'm still in love with her and I'm just going to ignore all these people because my mom told me to. I have to protect my brother and if I see him again, I will crash out."
I empathize with the moving away so you don't have to interact with people. I also empathize with the it doesn't work. Hey, it doesn't. Unless you
No.
put your mind to it, it doesn't work.
I mean, it literally didn't. Like, he still came back and he still did all of those things. And okay, I guess now that we're talking about Conrad, I can share my feelings about Conrad. So he spent the first 2 seasons moping. And I think the ultimate telling moment was prom, right? So he took Belly to prom. They're dating officially, right? And he's just acting shitty all night. He's like not in the mood to dance or be positive or whatever. And Belly is like,
And if you won't say it, I will.
Say what?
That we're over?
and then they end up breaking up, which is Belly's fault. Belly broke up with him for sure.
Yeah.
But later on, right, they have that argument on the beach.
If I'd known that, I would have fought for you.
What do you mean? What do you
I would have
mean?
fought for us. I mean, at prom. And at the funeral. I mean, I would have been there for you through everything.
I thought you knew. I thought you knew.
And if I'm being honest, no wonder she didn't fucking know. You never made it known.
Yeah.
He kept all of the feelings inside and then was shocked when he was like, "You don't know how I feel?" Of course nobody knows how you feel because you keep everything in here. And then, you know, season 3 comes along, 4 years pass. He's doing his doctor thing. He's in med school. He's seeing a therapist. He has his little dad outfits on, like whatever. He's like showing maturity. And that I appreciate. He comes back. He holds restraint whenever he's like with his brother and with Belly. He's trying to be respectful, blah, 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 blah. And then it all comes to a head when he declares his love for her on the beach.
Don't be with him. Don't marry him. Be with me.
He could have done that and left it all there. Like he could have just been like, "Okay, I said what I had to say. She's still getting married. I'm going to go leave." That I think would have been like, that's the sign of growth. Like, okay, I feel what I feel. I said what I felt. And now I'm going to go. No, this motherfucker lingers around and is just telling everybody, "I love her. I love her. I love her." The day of the wedding.
Really, what do you expect to happen? You think you're just gonna drive off into the sunset with her? That she's just like gonna blow up her whole life just because you suddenly remember she exists?
Yes.
And then he acts surprised when the wedding gets called off.
Yeah.
Like, no shit, dude. You were trying to break up the wedding. You were trying to break up the wedding. Don't fucking pretend like you weren't trying to break up the wedding. You were.
Which, to be fair, if my sibling was getting married under these circumstances, I too would do whatever it takes to break them up. But I feel like I have some, like, not sympathy, but like some kind of understanding, I think, that I give Conrad. I feel a bit bad for him throughout. And I do agree, when he stuck around after he confessed his love, he just looked so confused about what it is that he's supposed to do. I kind of get it, because it's like his dad is like, "Hey, go look after Jeremiah," and then Jeremiah's like, "No, fuck off, I never want to see you again." And then like Belly's there like giving her like yearning look from the distance, and then like Laurel is like, "Connie, I'm here for you," but then also being like, "Jeremiah, I'm here for you." And it's like, it's a lot. There's a lot going on. Out of the two, though, I stand by. I'm like, he is like objectively, logically the better pick.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. I agree with that.
And it's just really sad because no one needed to go through all of this. Like, Belly just had to be honest with how she has felt her whole life and not strung both of them along. And like for someone, for all of them who say they care so much about Susanna, to let this just like completely destroy your friendship and your family and whatever, like there's many other people in the world.
That's kind of what I mean. Like, I think that could have been a sign that Conrad is, okay, he has all these feelings. He made his feelings known. He learned how to communicate. He learned how to share how he was feeling. And he left it all out there. And he could have just been like, all right, I did what I had to do. I can go back to my life now.
I also think that this whole notion that like you'll never get over your first love is very stupid.
Crazy.
You can say, hey, I loved you. I'll always love you. That's totally fine. I also think that's a given for them, considering that they've known each other their whole lives. Of course you love them. Like, you can love other people.
Right.
Like, it's okay.
Exactly. The last thing I will say about Conrad is like, not only do I think that he was the most like complex character, like I don't think he had the most development. I think Steven gets that award, but I do think he had the most nuance in a sense that he had his like
Yes.
broody moments, whatever, but like he was also low key like funny and like he could be romantic. And like I
Yeah.
think that Christopher Briney, the actor that plays him, just played all of these parts of him so well. So I want to give hats off to Christopher Briney for probably being the best actor on this entire show. Conrad was just so unintentionally funny. Even parts where like you're kind of taking him seriously, there are moments where like his voice cracks or something, and I could not stop laughing.
Fuck school.
I don't care.
Connie, you have to. And talking the way that we used to.
This was the song that she always asked me to play for her.
But yeah, I completely agree with you. I definitely think that if choosing between these two brothers, Conrad does end up being the better choice. And I did enjoy his development. I wish there were ways that I think he could have been more developed as a character and more evolved as a character. Because we'll talk about the ending when we get to Belly, but yeah, I think, for what we got, he's much better than his book counterpart. So I'm happy with that. Now with Belly. Our main girl.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't even know if I have that much left to say about her.
I have so much. Okay. I think, in the words of Lola Tung,
Oh my goodness, I love this question.
I think
Belly might be the dumbest bitch on television. Like, she really only thinks about herself. She is absolutely clueless. And it's like, you can argue, okay, like the first 2 seasons, she is a teenager. She really isn't thinking about much other than herself. But Taylor will call her out on it. Like, her brother has called her out on it.
You had Jeremiah, and it just wasn't enough. You had to have Conrad, too. God, you are so fucking selfish.
Her mother calls her out on it. Like, and it's just like, it's not clicking. What is not clicking for you?
What's not clicking? What's not clicking?
She's in love with Conrad. She's been in love with a Conrad since she was a kid. Susanna instilled in her that she's going to end up with one of her boys, and she just is so infatuated with Conrad, she can't see past anything else. Then Cam Cameron comes into the picture, starts showing interest in her. She immediately starts dating him. She kisses him. And then she's like, oh, well, he's not Conrad. And it's just kind of like, I'm done. Then Conrad is still not returning her affections. So she goes to Jeremiah, the next best thing. Toys with him for a little bit. And then when he falls out of the picture, immediately goes back to Conrad. Then they date, right? And what does she do when he's not enthusiastic about going to prom with her? She breaks up with him and makes it all his fault, which is crazy because on the one hand, I can understand people are like, oh, he was grieving his mom. Like, oh, he was sad about his mom having cancer. I'm like, I'm sorry, but one, I don't think she was dead at this point, so you can't grieve somebody that's not already dead. And two, you can grieve a dead parent or be sad about your parent being sick and not be an asshole.
Yeah.
So sorry, but that argument is moot. But she breaks up with him and then of course immediately goes back to Jeremiah. Like she truly just hops from boy to boy to boy and just takes whatever the next best option is because she is so codependent.
Yes, I choose him over everyone because that is what you do when you love someone and when you're really in it with them.
Is it? Really? I'm worried about you. I feel like you've completely lost yourself in Jer, and like that's not love, that's codependency.
Oh, like she cannot be by herself. And she doesn't get the moment to be by herself and realize that she wants to be by herself until she goes to Paris.
I think I need to find the person that I can be without you.
What does that mean?
I think I'm gonna stay.
Not to be like very old person about this, but I actually think that Belly's character makes this show a dangerous show for young girls to watch, which is the target audience, because every single thing that happens that she decides to do and gets away with, if not is encouraged, is just such poor decision making. And it's poor decision making, and it's not realistic, right? Like I would not want to be 15, 16 watching this show while I'm still impressionable and romanticizing this idea of having, you know, flip-flopping between these two guys, toying with people's emotions, or, you know, that's one half of it, or like watching this and being like, oh, it's okay if your boyfriend cheats on you if he follows it up with a grand declaration of love. It's okay if he flunks, like if flunking out of classes is, you know, whatever, like we can figure that out. It's okay if there's credit card debt. It's okay if I give up my dream of studying abroad because I'm so lost in the sauce with this dude I'm dating that I don't even really like that much, but it's good enough for right now. Like all of that to me, I was like, this is actually like dangerous. Because I know that there's going to be like, there are young girls that love this show and idolize these characters, and this is what they could take from it and run with it. And like, again, Laurel in that moment should have stood her ground and, you know, been a parent, and like there were so many opportunities for Belly to receive the consequences of her actions, and she consistently doesn't. And I'm like, you are a horrible person. You are one-dimensional. You're poorly written. You're selfish. I don't understand what it is that you're bringing to the table. I don't understand why these boys are in love with her, honestly.
There's no reason for them to be in love with her other than the fact that they've been told and groomed their entire lives that, oh, one of you will be in love with her, or like whatever. Like, just again, because she got a glow up, because she got boobs, everyone's just like, oh my God, immediately in love with you. Like,
You've always been a precious person to me. I have always cared about you. And then at some point, I started to see you differently, and that scared me because I didn't want things between us to change.
where did this come from? Where did this come from? And then and I agree, Belly should be a cautionary tale. She is not a role model. She is not someone to aspire to be. She should not be looked up to at all by young girls.
To face an inconvenience, a self-inflicted challenge. You deal with that by booking a flight ticket just to Paris.
I will say, the one thing that Jeremiah said that I think is correct is when they're having the confrontation, when they're deciding to call off the wedding, he says,
You could have just said no when I asked you to marry me. If you had any doubts, you could have said no, but you said yes.
and he's fucking correct. She had a choice. But she was so self-absorbed and she was so afraid to be alone. And again, she was trying to like erase Conrad in her mind, that she was just like, yep, sure, sign me up. Even though she very half-heartedly did it, and then started to realize the repercussions of her mistakes and kept going through with it up until the day of her wedding. And then, this is the kicker for me. Here's the kicker. So she has this whole thing with Paris, right? She moves to Paris. She starts a new life for herself from the ground up. She meets new friends. She starts learning French. Whatever. I guess things just work out fine for her in Paris, spontaneously, somehow, right? And Conrad comes back to go see her on her birthday. And they do the whole city tour, whatever. They have this whole day together, whatever. And then they spend the night together. And then you finally get this moment where you think they're going to get back together, right? They have sex and they're finally having a conversation about the way that they felt.
How are we supposed to know if we love each other because we want to and not because we were told to?
You think that I love you because when I was 6 years old, my mother thought that we should get married?
No. If your mom hadn't gotten sick again, would we have even gotten together?
Oh my God. She gained brain cells. Oh my God. She's actually thinking about the repercussions of her actions. She's actually thinking about, how do I really feel? And she lets him go. And I'm like, oh my God. We have character growth. We have character growth. And then for some reason, they're like, nah, we can't have that.
I have brown hair and brown eyes, and I will always love Conrad Fisher.
Run back to Conrad! Why? Why, oh why, God? This makes no sense. We were so close. We were so close to some character development. We were so close.
Conrad, I choose you of my own free will.
I feel like that's my thesis statement of this entire show. We get so close to character growth and character development and people learning from the repercussions of their actions, only for things to just be thrown away. And it's exhausting.
And it makes the whole show pointless because you do all of this work or things happen and then it's like, just kidding. It's sad, it's incestuous. It, like, if I had grown up around two boys, like known them since I was kids, I don't think I'd look at them as love interest. But then again, it's like, yeah, Susanna's telling you, like, there's just so many layers of things that are wrong with the dynamics between the relationships between all of these people. I'm surprised with how popular this show is, honestly.
The characters' choices just make absolutely no sense. And it's just fun to watch because you're like, how can people be this stupid? How can people be so selfish? How do people get away with doing all these things and they just turn out fine in the end? And it's not like Jenny Han can't write a good story. Like, I think To All the Boys I've Loved Before, which is the other book trilogy series that she wrote, is actually very charming, and the characters learn from their mistakes and they learn to love each other. Peter learns to become less selfish and less concerned about being popular and well liked, whereas Laura Jean learns to come out of her shell a little bit and faces her fears. And that's what it makes sense because they learned that from each other. None of these people learn anything from each other. They all need to be in therapy or jail.
Definitely let us know if you have the same thoughts and opinions as us, if you are leaning a certain way about a certain brother.
If you think that Susanna and Laurel were actually in love also, like, please.
100%. They were.
Sound off your opinions in the comments. We would love to hear your hot takes.
There's no hot takes here. They're all just takes. Because this show is so whack. that like whatever opinion you have, it can't top whatever this show is doing.
But yeah, thank you for making it this far, for listening to what we have to say, for hearing our opinions on this whack-ass show. We hope that you enjoyed it. If you enjoy the show, please give us some love by following us on Instagram at Pop Rocks and Tea Pod. We are also on YouTube now, which is very exciting. So we'll be posting stuff on there. And of course, at all of the streaming services that we're on. You can subscribe to us.
Till next time, get some Pop Rocks, drink some tea, and like just meet new people. If you're hung up over someone, just
move on.
Just meet someone else. Just meet one other person. That's all you need.
The love of your life is not the person that you met when you were a child. Please move the fuck on.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.